I cannot stand the current state of drives inside of Overwatch. While I understand the purpose of drives, it makes competitive matchmaking very unfun for a weekend. It attracts people that don't play competitive that much to play competitive because it's the only way to earn weapon skins. So your quick play warriors who only ever play quick play, maybe they play a few matches of competitive just to keep a rank, are going to hop on to try to get that weapon skin that they want. And then grouping up also gets you more drives. So you're going to have people that only play quick play grouping up together going into matches, and because they only play quick play, they only understand quick play. So they're going to think that they're doing everything right, which then leads to a more toxic environment inside of the competitive games because they're going to start blaming everyone else on the team and not taking any accountability for themselves. Now, I'm not saying competitive players aren't toxic. They are very toxic, but quick play players are a different breed. I'm telling you, these people are brutal. And then you have the actual competitive players who are sweating their asses off in the lobby because they also want to win. Everybody wants to win more than usual, and losses set you back. And then you have the players that want to maximize their drives. So a week or two leading into the drive weekend, they're going to de-rank themselves, meaning they're going to throw games in previous weeks so that way they're a lower rank, so that when drives come around, they can win more games in a row and get the drives over with quicker. On top of all this, people are going to be playing a lot more tilted because you're on a limited timer. You have a weekend to complete the drives. So you have an influx of players into competitive, you have people smurfing, and everybody's playing tilted. It leads for an absolutely miserable gameplay experience. And if you play during drive weekend, you understand how bad the matchmaking is. You'll have one player in your team that was born without thumbs, and the second coming of Jonak on the enemy team just shredding through everybody. All playing for 3,000 competitive drives, and a title that only lasts until the next one comes out. And I think this is my real issue with the competitive drive event, is that you get more drives playing a weekend of Overwatch and competitive than you do playing an entire season of competitive without the event. So say you grind competitive for the first 4 weeks of the season up until the mid-season, you're just grinding competitive, you might not even have enough competitive points for a gun. Meanwhile, the quick play warrior that just does their placement matches and plays during drive weekend is going to have more competitive rewards than you, the person who grinded for a month or two inside of competitive, but you just didn't play or had interest playing during the competitive drive event. And I truly think that speaks volume to how little competitive points you earn during standard competitive play. It is way too little, especially for how many heroes are added and how often new competitive skins are added into the game. And what exactly is the title rewarding? Why is this title a reward? Just to show that you played competitive for the last 4 days of the season? You can play competitive every single week consistently and have nothing to show for it. But if you play competitive on the last 4 days of the season, you could have a nice flashy title and earn enough competitive points for a weapon skin. I guess it does show that you had to suffer through the absolutely abysmal matchmaking during competitive drive weekend. But again, it's just such a weird thing to reward. I understand it's to get people to play the last weekend before the season because they don't want their player numbers to drop really low. They want people to still be engaged with the game even though they're only going to be in this current season for the next few days. But why does this have to apply to only competitive game modes? Why does competitive have to be the mode that gets screwed over? Why not just have rewards that standard quick play warriors can earn? Why not have more weapon skins inside of the game that just aren't locked behind competitive? I don't think weapon skins should be locked solely behind competitive. I think everybody should be able to earn weapon skins without having to play the competitive mode. Different weapon skins, but weapon skins nonetheless. But again, drives will always drive more people to competitive. I understand that it's just not fun playing during drive weekend. It's really frustrating, and I don't think anybody really has fun during drive weekend. They just want the reward. I mean, if you want all the rewards for competitive play, you only have to play 4 days of the season inside of competitive, and of course your placements. Then you could hop on and play quick play for 95% of the season. Meanwhile, if you're a competitive player and you only play competitive for like the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season, you're kind of SOL. You're going to get less rewards than the person that plays competitive for the last 4 days of the season. I feel like that system is just broken. It encourages really unhealthy matchmaking. Nobody has fun, and people that have competitive rewards are people that don't really deserve them to an extent. I just wanted to vent out some of my frustrations I've had with competitive drives. I try to do it every season. I just get so deterred from it because I'll win one game, lose 3 games, and then it's like, all right, like I know what I'm dealing with here. There's some pro player on the enemy team, and my team has some bronze player that's playing in my rank. I know, of course, that's not how it really is. It's just how it feels like. Anyway, let me know how you guys feel about drives. Do you think it's a healthy addition for Overwatch, or it's something that needs a complete overhaul? I definitely do like the idea of having an easier way to get competitive points, but I think competitive points should just be easier to earn in general and have a higher earnage rate. That's just how I feel. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one.